Cheap, off-the-shelf lawn mowers that promise robotic cutting for a couple of $100s often end up as cardboard boxes in the garage, and the regret of that purchase sticks around longer than the blades ever did. That's the feeling most of us get when we see a flashy robot mower on a deal site and wonder if it's a smart shortcut or just another gadget that won't survive a real yard. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So before you click add to cart, let's figure out whether the DCK TERRAINA actually feels like a smarter buy or just another cheap promise. When you first hear robotic lawn mower, the mind jumps straight to a future where you set it and forget it, coming home to a perfectly trimmed lawn while the mower does the heavy lifting. The hesitation comes from a very real place. Most affordable models I've tested in the past either quit on a slope, get stuck on a garden hose, or simply miss half the yard because they can't handle more than one zone. The DCK TERRAINA advertises a 40% slope capability, LiDAR obstacle avoidance, multi-zone management, and app-controlled mowing, all pretty impressive on paper. The question is whether those claims translate into everyday reliability, especially when the product's rating on Amazon sits at a 1-star average from just 2 reviewers. Let's start with the basics of how a robotic mower fits into a typical suburban yard. You usually have a front lawn, maybe a side strip that backs onto a garden, and perhaps a small patio that creates a narrow corridor. A decent robot should navigate those transitions, remember where it has been, and return to its charging base before the battery runs out. The DCK TERRAINA promises an optimal return path, which means the mower should calculate the most efficient route back to the dock, even after a long cut. In practice, that kind of navigation can be a lifesaver if you have a longer driveway or a detached garden shed that forces the mower to travel a bit farther than a straight line. One of the standout features here is the LiDAR-based obstacle avoidance. LiDAR, essentially a laser scanner, builds a 3D map of the area in real time. In theory, this lets the mower see a garden gnome, a low fence, or a stray pet and steer around it without stopping. I've seen lower-cost models rely on simple bump sensors that just bounce off obstacles, which often leads to a lot of stuck alerts in the app. With the TERRAINA, the promise is smoother operation, especially in yards that have a mix of flower beds and stepping stones. If you're the type of homeowner who likes a tidy border of shrubs and a few decorative items, that predictive avoidance could be a genuine timesaver. Another practical strength is the multi-zone mowing mode. Many yards aren't a single, uniform rectangle, they're divided by flower beds, a small vegetable patch, or a play area. The app lets you define separate zones, set different schedules for each, and even give the mower a priority area to tackle first. For a family that wants the front lawn trimmed every weekday but can let the side patch wait until the weekend, that level of control is useful. The app's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity also mean you can start, pause, or adjust the cut height from your phone while you're at work, rather than dragging a manual mower out on a Saturday. Quiet operation is a subtle but appreciated feature. Traditional gas mowers crank up at 90 decibels or more, which can be a nuisance for anyone working from home or trying to enjoy a peaceful backyard. The TERRAINA runs at a whisper-quiet level, allowing you to mow early in the morning or late at night without waking the whole neighborhood. If you have kids sleeping in the house or a pet that's skittish around loud noises, that quietness can be a real quality of life upgrade. Now let's look at the trade-offs, because no product is perfect, especially at this price point. The first thing that jumps out is the slope rating. While 40% sounds generous, roughly a 22-degree incline, the real world often throws in uneven terrain, soft soil, or wet grass that can challenge the traction system. In my own neighborhood, a slope that feels gentle on a dry day can become a slipping hazard after a rainstorm. If your yard has a steep hill or a mix of wet and dry patches, you may find the mower struggling to maintain grip, which could lead to missed spots or even the mower stalling and needing a manual rescue. Battery life is another hidden factor. The specs don't list exact run time, but a typical mower that can handle a 40% slope and multi-zone mapping usually carries a battery that lasts anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes per charge. That's fine for an acre lawn, but if you have a larger property, say, a full acre with several zones, the mower will have to pause, return to the dock, recharge, and then resume. Each cycle adds downtime, and if the optimal return path isn't as optimal as advertised, you could